Depression causes feelings of sadness and/or a loss of interest in activities once enjoyed. It can also lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems that can decrease a person's ability to function at work and at home. People with depression are often overwhelmed by feelings of sadness, weakness, loneliness, emptiness, and hopelessness.
In my later years of high school, I began going in waves of feeling very down. I was under a lot of pressure from my academics and kept telling myself that I was just stressed, not finding enough balance between life and school. Having always been a pretty happy-go-lucky person, I felt like a hollowed-out version of myself and tried to keep up the outward appearance that everything was fine. A month after graduating, far away from stress I had previously been under, I began to recognize that how I was feeling was further from my control than I realized. I remember thinking, this isn't a real problem compared to what others go through, and I am not going to rely on medicine to make me feel happy. I just need to be more positive. But it was something I couldn't shake. Though it came with hesitation, talking to both my family and my physician is what got me the help I needed to go back to feeling like me again.
This is Jake. Since he was 16, he experienced intrusive thoughts that always made him feel as if people were out to get him. Thoughts that made him believe he was unwanted, unloved, and not worthy. This led him to seclude himself into his room where he felt that he belonged. He resorted to video games, leading his mind to be occupied by things other than these thoughts that consisted of nothing but lies. Jake's family saw him as the perfect son they always wanted and loved him so deeply. It truly broke their hearts to see him believe these lies. They offered to get him help, however, he did not want it due to the stigma that exists in our society today of help being something for the weak. It took Jake over 5 years to finally realize what he was dealing with was depression, and put the name to all of the lies he had been consumed with. Jake came to the understanding that therapy is something that is necessary, and actually a strength rather than a weakness.
My symptoms started out when I was about 13. For me, it started out as intrusive thoughts that trained me to see everything around me negatively. I was moody and would often seclude myself and withdraw, even though I knew I had supportive friends and family. A year later, when I truly didn't know what to do anymore, I finally approached my mom and asked her to take me to a doctor. Instead, she got me a membership to the YMCA and gave me a diet plan. For me, it only made me feel worse, and I eventually developed an eating disorder because of it. When I turned 18, I was able to talk to my primary care doctor directly, and she prescribed me antidepressants since I'd been having symptoms for 5 years. The medicine made my symptoms manageable, but I still suffer from depressive episodes. These now look like periods of dulled senses, lack of motivation, and lack of enjoyment for anything. I outlived the darkest time of my life. I was able to label the monster on my shoulder, and that allowed me to see it as an illness rather than a flaw or a weakness.
Scrap the stigma.
Scrap the stigma.
Scrap the stigma.
Depression is not something only you are struggling with. When 300 million people worldwide live with depression, you are not alone. 44% of college students report having depression. Depression is a serious mental health illness that should be addressed. 75% of students suffering from depression do not seek help due to the current stigma that exists within society, that help is something weak. Let's scrap the stigma and make seeking help be seen as something brave instead of something negative. Everyone deserves a chance to be happy.